Hello, this is James and I'm back in the shop again. This would be part 2 of the videos I'm making on how to make a rustic aspen log bunk bed. So as you can see, I've got the top 2 sections pretty well laid out, and today I'm going to show you a few things, how I put tenons on the bigger logs, and most especially this log is going to be the bottom of the safety rail for the upper bunk, but in order to put a mattress on it, I had to get a flat section on the log so that I could mount this half of a 2x4 onto it, which will hold up a piece of plywood that it will eventually hold up the mattress. So in order to get this flat spot, I had to make a sawmill. And if you look up Izzy Swan, I-Z-Z-Y Swan, he had a wonderful YouTube on how to make a sawmill where you can cut logs into lumber. And I'm going to show you the tool that is responsible for making that happen. So let me reset up the camera and we'll get started. Well, if you watched my previous video, part 1, you saw that we drill a 1/2 inch hole in the end of the log and then drill that 6 inches deep with the jig in order to put it on the shaft that allows this to spin and the blades to cut this tenon. But I discovered that doing these long logs with this tool, the flexible shaft, was almost impossible. It's hard to hold this drill up, which supports the entire log, keep it spinning, and lower it slowly onto the blade. So what I did is I made my own crank. In order to make this work, I don't have this tip. I don't have access to this spiral tip. So what I did is the next size up from that 1/2 inch was a 5/8 threaded rod, like this one right here. And so what I did was I tap out the wood to about 4 inches deep, and then I can screw this crank into that hole, and it's got a bicycle grip on it that spins, so I can support the whole log here and then still spin it with my other hand while gently lowering it onto the blade. So I'm going to set up the camera and show you how that's done. So I've got my dust collection ready to go. I'll turn on the saw, feed the log into the shaft. This is already set up to cut a 3-inch tenon, and we'll see how this works. So I hope that shows how to do a bigger log with a custom crank, and I will now set up the sawmill and show you how we're going to flatten one side of both of these logs. I maybe just realized that I've never shown the diagram of what I intend to build. So this would be the corner posts, of course, and these safety rails are the ones that I have made here, although I decided to extend them all the way across. So the logs we're working with now are these bottom logs that hold up the mattress. And how we're going to do that is there's a very clever tool by Prazi. And what it is, it's a chainsaw that mounts onto a circular saw. So the drive that drives normally the circular blade is driving this chainsaw blade instead. And so what I did, according to Izzy Swan's tutorial, is I put this fence on it that rides along, rides along a rail on the sawmill that I'll show you in a minute. So we will get this set up, and I'll also put a handle on it to push. So this is what's going to flatten my logs, and we'll do a demo in just a moment. So let me apologize for the wind noise right away, but this is the sawmill that I have mounted on sawhorses, and I've put a log in it, and we're going to flatten the top of that. And the way this works is these blocks keep the tenons the exact same height up. So all I have to do is cut a straight line across, and it doesn't matter how wavy that log is, it should cut a flat piece right off the top. So the Prezi circular saw mounts in this beveled cut, which I use pressure treated wood for. It vibrates a little bit. I'm going to have to do some adjustments, but I cut holes in the side here. Oh, I don't know if you can see, maybe on this side. I cut holes every 1/4 of an inch or so that I could raise and lower that rail up and down. It's a different method from Izzy Swan's, but my logs are longer. This doesn't have an oiler on it, so periodically I will stop the cut and brush some bar oil onto the chain. So let's get started. Throws a lot of dust around. So there's my flat spot. I'm going to back it up and cut this a little better. It didn't get down far enough at the beginning of the cut. So let's take care of that. So all I have to do now is a little bit of light sanding, and then we will glue a 2x4, actually a 2x2. We'll glue and screw that on there, and that's what will hold up the bottom mattress. So stay tuned, there will be more coming.